Welcome back, James, to another episode of Clear the Air, the Simply Stogies Podcast After Show. I'm your host, Tim, and I look and sound a lot better than I feel. I can promise you that. It's been a crazy couple weeks. In fact, I know we're going to talk about it when I bring James in and we talk about the experience that he had last week with Mike Szczepankiewicz. I hope I got that right. I've been practicing all day. Nope, I didn't get it right. Is that what you said?
Yeah, no.
Well,
you were close, man. Look, that's how I pronounced it.
Come on in.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. That's how I pronounced it the first time as well. Here, you know what? I'm gonna flip us because I don't. Our producer knows how to do that. But that's I said that at first when he first joined. I was like, man, am I getting this right? He's like, you're close, and I'm like, all right, cool. Waiting for him to correct me, and he wouldn't correct me. I'm like, no, you're gonna need to tell me how to do it. Like, and he's like, Szczepankiewicz. So it's step.
Yep.
And Kevich.
I think my problem is I always, instead of the V in Vitch, I always go B, like a Bepsi. I don't know why I even do that.
I think your problem is you pronounce the Potomac for
I am absolutely horrific. We're going to talk about this because, before we even get to that point, I do want to remind everybody that we do have an LE Club membership or an LE Club. It's a great way to support Simply Stogies Podcast and Clear the Air, the Simply Stogies Podcast After Show, and everything else that we do throughout the year. And you can do that as low as $3 a month, and you get to have all the perks. If you can do a little bit more, that's great. There's a few other tiers all the way up to the $100 per month boutique as fuck tier where you get to outrank me if there's even a spot left, because right now I know that our friends over at Fat Ash Lounge in Ashland, Kentucky are currently one of our boutique as fuck members, and they outrank me. So this show and every show is executively produced by them. There it is, Fat Ash Cigar Lounge. And I need to fix that, but that's all right. It's up there. There's the logo. Love you guys down there. And of course, we're going to be going to my Old Kentucky Herf in Ashland, Kentucky here really quick. James, if you could do me a favor, because I know you have all of the updated details about the event. You can take that over for me.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Guys, let me remind you, May 8th and 9th, as I have picked up whatever death Tim had. Not from Tim, but from my daughter and my wife. May 8th and 9th, my Old Kentucky Herf, Fat Ash, Ashland, Kentucky. You want to stay in town, Holiday Inn Express. It's right in between where it's going to be held, the Boyd County Convention Center in Boyd County, Kentucky, and my Old Kentucky Herf, Fat Ash Lounge right there. It's right in between, right down the road. It's like a 3 or 4 minute drive, if that. It is gorgeous country. So that's where you're going to want to go. I'll be there. I know hopefully some other people will be there because I just don't want to hang out with Tim. I know Mike will be there and I get to hang out with Mike. And so I'm excited about that. You know what else I'm excited about? Here's who's confirmed. John Simon's Warfighter Tobacco. Greg Free, Fortaleza y Libre. Amanda McAuliffe, Jeremy Ellis from McAuliffe Cigars. There may or may not be some surprises here. Like, I don't want to give things away, and I'm not sure what I can give away. But the white is out. It's out now. You can go get that at a retailer that's not one of our sponsors. But it's going to have a wider release, and so it'll be available then. But I've heard there's some kind of surprise. Trey Mack, National Sales Manager, Aladino JRE Tobacco, is going to be in his house. Do kids still say that? No, they don't.
I don't think so.
No, yeah, they don't. Gabby Caffey 1901 Cigars is going to be there as well. Confirmed now. Luciano Morales, Luciano Cigars, Constella Cigar Group is going to be there. And Elizabeth Santos from Noble Cigars. You can go follow her. Remarkable Liz. I've been following her for a hot minute. I'm very excited to finally be able to meet her in person. Never met her in person. Noble Cigars. I saw Fat Ash brought them in, I think at the end of the year last year. So I'm very excited to have her at my Old Kentucky Herf. But look, here are some confirmed brands, confirmed vendors that are going to be there. Altada, My Father Cigars, Oscar Valadera Cigars, Rojas Cigars, Oliva Cigars, CLE, General, and Forged are going to be there as well. Guys, May 8th and 9th. Tickets are $200. Go get your VIP ticket. It's an extra $100. Early bird's gone. You guys missed the boat on that. Half the tickets are gone. Let me say that again for those who aren't paying attention. Let me say it a little louder for those in the back. Half the tickets are gone. You might want to go to fatash.com and get your tickets today, right now. Pause the podcast. Go do it. May 8th and 9th. Ashton, Kentucky. Old Kentucky Herf. It is my favorite event of the year. I know you guys are like sick and tired of me talking about it. I don't care. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to scream it from the rafters. These people put on a premier cigar event in the I'm not going to call it the Midwest. We'll call it the gateway to the South. I don't know what else to call it. Right there on the West Virginia border, at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. You're going to want to be there May 8th and 9th. Hope to see you there.
That'll be a fun time. It'll be a fun time. I can't wait to get there. Unfortunately, somebody who is going to join us, I'm going to bring him in right now. Our friend Jimmy. Let's bring Jimmy in.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Not yet?
This was today. Yeah, this was confirmed today. Or was it? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. And I love this dude so much. Hector Alfonso.
Oh.
Hector Alfonso Sr., Master Blender, Espinosa. This dude is awesome. We've had him on the show before. We've had Amanda on the show before. We've had Greg on the show before. We've had Trey on the show before. Everyone's going to be awesome, but Hector Alfonso is one of my favorite people in the industry. A lot of fun to talk to. Can't wait to see him there. So yeah, I wanted to mention that as well. Paul reminded me he's like, hey, I'm executively producing right now. And I'm like, good job,
Paul.
Somebody needs to, because fucking it ain't you, Tim.
But that's funny because I literally just refreshed the page and I'm like, okay, nothing there. So I want to get Jimmy in here. Jimmy, come on in. Say hi, Jimmy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm in. Look at that.
Yeah, finally. Yeah. After
it's
all
still
this time.
weird sitting on the outside, and I want to talk, but I can't. And
we don't miss you.
Now I'm here, and I landed in here weird. I was introduced. I was ready to go. Then I forgot. So I'm going with it now. Let's
welcome to.
And your little lesson on how to say Mike's last name literally blew it out of my brain. So I'm like,
but that's what happened on the podcast. James went to pronounce it. I think he pronounced it the way that he tried to teach me how to pronounce it. And then Mike's like, nope, that's not how it's done. And then there was like 30 other pronunciations in there. By the time that was done, I'm like, I'm lost. I have no idea.
Szczepankiewicz?
Step. Like you're schlepping something, but it's instead of an L, it's a T. Szczepankiewicz. I can't make fun of people because I'm a white dude who can't get the whitest name on the planet right. Like
100%. Yeah.
Okay, that's what screwed me up. Is you said there's no, like, it's not an L, and I'm like, there is no L in step.
Step. Like you're like schlep. Like you're schlepping something. Like schmuck, but there's a T. Step. Szczepankiewicz.
For a guy who's been in the military so long and seen so many weird names, you would think that I would even be able to get remotely close to it.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Speaking of the military, man, like, I just want to say, hey, to all of our, military overseas, kicking ass right now in Iran, taking names, like, whether you agree with it or not, like, we hope you all come back safe. God bless our troops. God bless America. And I'm really excited that 2 supreme leaders of Iran now have their 72 virgins.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's actually what they get, but
can we go for 3 or 4?
I thought it was up to 49 now, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know. It's like
the supreme
they name
leader.
a new one and
gone.
they die.
Yeah. We're creating jobs in other countries too.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. Way to go, Trump. I'm all about
exactly. Before we get too much into the show and we talk about spirit animals and all that good stuff, James, we got some bills to pay.
We do indeed have some bills to pay. And guys, it is the first of the month, which means I need to remind you about Avowed Cigars in the brand new hollowed hands from Avowed Cigars. There it is right there on your TV screen, on your computer screen, live, your phone screen, whatever it is, live and in color. Hollowed hands, Toro. Limited edition. You can go to smallbatchcigar.com and get that. You can try to use coupon code Stogies, but you're not going to get anything off that. No discounts or promotions apply because they're doing it the right way. This is not a small batch brand. This is owned by Dave West and Andrew Constantine, who owns Small Batch, but this is not a small batch brand. This is his own brand. And I invite you, if you have a lounge, to try to get it, because I'm telling you, Avowed is some of the best stuff out there right now. There are reviews of this cigar all over the internet. You can go check them out. It is an Ecuadorian Corojo binder over Ecuadorian Habano wrapper with fillers that include Ecuadorian Corojo, Dominican San Vicente, Piloto Cubano Criollo, 98, and Pennsylvania broadleaf, obviously from the United States. This is a 6x52 medium to full, and it is limited in quantity. Go get it right now. Small batch cigar. Tell them I sent you. Use coupon code Stogies. Like I said, you're not going to get anything off, but you know what? This is where you go. If your local retailer doesn't carry Avowed, you know, ask them to look into it and then go to smallbatchcigar.com and pick this up. The brand new hollowed hands from Avowed Cigars. Avowed Cigars doing it the right way since 2025. I don't have great catchphrase for them. I need a.
You're a little off today, but I think you're doing good, James.
Yeah, usually you're a little wittier.
You know?
This episode of Clear the Air is also brought to you by Lure Cigars. Smoke great cigars, tell tall tales, Lure Cigar, and the new and improved Jolly Walleye, unless, of course, you want to mispronounce it and call it the Holly Waligi. There is a story there. I will. Lou's going to be on the show here in the next couple months. I'll let him tell the story about the Holly Waligi, but the new improved Jolly Walleye coming to you live and in person to wherever Lure Cigars is sold. 5.5 by 52 Robusto Extra Ecuadorian Claro Premium. This is a brand new wrapper. Now, look, Lou was kind enough to send myself, Jimmy, Nick, and Tim 5 of these cigars. These are 5 of the, and I hate to anamorphize. I think that's the right word, anamorphize. Cigars, but they are sexy. They're sexy. There's no other way to put it. He is so ecstatic and chomping at the bit for everybody to see this Ecuadorian with Claro Premium wrapper. And I see now on this graphic that somebody has misspelled Ecuadorian. I promise it wasn't us.
It wasn't me.
It was not us.
It was not us. But we'll get with Lou. We'll get that fixed. This is an A+++ wrapper. It is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Now ask me the question, does it smoke different than last year's Jolly Walleye? I'll answer that. No, it doesn't. Thanks for asking, Tim. Go get the Jolly Walleye, the Holly Waligi, whatever it is you want to call it. Just don't miss it, because this is going to go fast. It is limited. Lure Cigars, smoke great cigars, tell tall tales. Lure Cigars.
Wow. Bills have been paid.
Well prepared.
I'll tell you what, just jumping back to a little bit earlier.
Who hit the mic?
That was not me. Not it.
No, I think it was Jimmy. I don't know what. Do you have a spring on your mic?
Just keep moving forward.
just ignore it. No, it's great. LE Club membership, right? So this last episode, I wasn't able to because I was sick. I was in bed. I completely lost Tuesday, so I didn't get to listen to the conversation until after the fact. And I'll tell you, this was one of those episodes, and we're not going to get too far into it, but just scratch the surface. This is one of those episodes where it's such a great idea or a great thing to be a part of the LE Club membership, because that little bit of behind the scenes that you get to experience before we go live, we record the show, all the stuff that we cut out before it goes out public.
There's sometimes, we cut things that were in the show too. Like that show is edited. That show is edited.
So I should have probably listened to the edited version, but I didn't because I wanted to catch everything that happened before and after.
I'll tell everybody what I cut out because I want to remind everybody, like, yeah, you can support us by joining the LE Club, like Tim's talking about, or you can go buy some merchandise. Go to simplystogies.com, go to shop, and right there you can get some t-shirts. I know Tim's gonna or something.
Yeah, let me go back to the page real quick.
Yeah, there it is right there. We got 2 new t-shirts for you. Tell everybody you're in Cigar Media. Tell them you're part of Cigar Media, and then tell them to go watch your food reviews. Check out your food reviews. Or you can, show everybody just how much you love food. Pat and Stats, you're filling that sandwich right there. And look, no shade at anybody. We're not mentioning any names. Go get those shirts. Just remind everybody you're in Cigar Media, and your love for Cigar Media transcends just cigars and goes to food. Right there. Right now it's 20% off. Simplystogies.com. Go get them hot off the presses, I guess. Look, yeah. So what was cut was I wasn't gonna release those shirts, and I'd released them last week, and I was like, and then talking to Mr. Szczepankiewicz before the show. We had a conversation about, Cigar Media and some things, and that only our patrons are privy to, kind of like, the whole my Old Kentucky Herf thing, which, by the way, I have been corrected. Early bird tickets are still going on until they're on the show. So, March 10th, go get them. You got a week. Early bird tickets still, my Old Kentucky Herf. So yeah, I took it out. I took that out of the show. I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to put that in. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to go ahead and put it in because that's just hashtag simply what we do. So, yeah, there it is. So yeah, you're going to want to join because I do think that those conversations that we had before and after the show are fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. It started off kind of like when I initially hit play and I was listening to the episode at first, I was like, wait a second, is this a therapy session? Is somebody getting a little bit of a PhD time? But then the episode started and went off without a hitch. And I really thought right off the bat, when I'm, listening to what's going on before the show started and as the show starts, I'm like, man, Mike, he's my spirit animal, man. Like, he's just whatever. He doesn't have time for that. Let other people have the fun. But then I told that to you, James, and you're like, no. And you said it at the end of the show. No. Phil is my spirit animal. And I just kind of want to get a little bit more information. Why does it mean Phil?
Look, I asked that, like, they have a foil, they have a producer, they have a guy behind the scenes named Phil. And he wears a face mask, which I think is a great idea for you, Tim.
Wait, are you serious? He wears a face mask?
Sometimes, yeah. And there's stickers on it sometimes. Like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I asked Mike, I go, do you think Phil knows what a double entendre is? And he goes, absolutely not. He goes, nope, he doesn't. Nope. He's like, I go, oh, well, there's Tim. I'm like, he's kind of a lot. Okay, you have a Tim. He goes, you're kind of insulting Tim. And I kind of laughed. I'm like, I'm kind of insulting Phil. It's not. Yeah.
Tomato.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
Now I kind of want to reach out to Phil. I kind of want to.
I think the two of you ought to do a podcast together. And I don't know what I'd call it. It wouldn't be anything that would be flattering to either one of you, but you guys call it whatever you want.
Yeah, the Phil and Tim show or something like that.
Maybe. I don't know. Phil and Tim figure out the world. I don't know. I'd watch just to watch that train wreck.
I would also watch that.
Well, at least right off the bat, I've got 2 viewers / listeners. I have historically, I have jumped on. What?
I'm so sorry. I'm just going to keep interrupting because our executive producers had a fantastic idea. Our executive producers at Fat Ash Cigars in Ashland, Kentucky had a great idea. They're like, you need a T-shirt of a guy smoking a sandwich saying, "I'm getting notes of desperation."
All right, a third T-shirt's going up on the site.
Third T-shirt's going up on the site. I'm just saying. I'm gonna have to get with our graphic artist and be like, let's make that happen. And ChatGPT will say, let me do that for you. Beep, 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 pop, boop. Here it is.
Wow. Okay. So probably not a good idea to make me laugh when I'm still trying to battle the coughing fits, but that's freaking hilarious.
Oh, dude, that's it. May be one of the funniest things ever said on this show. Other than I don't know what a double entendre is.
That wasn't that funny.
It was pretty fucking funny.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. I'm smoking. Thanks for asking. The Powstanie San Andreas Corona Gordo, the brand new size. This week, I'm really digging it. Jimmy, what are you smoking, buddy?
I am smoking the limited edition War Bear, along with my War Bear hat, because I like what Mike and Mike are doing. So I support their pod, just like I hope people support our pod. And I am loving this so far. This is actually only my second Powstanie cigar. I had the San Andreas, which was great. And War Bear's fantastic.
So I'm going to check in with you throughout your smoking experience here, Jimmy, because I kind of want to just check in with you from time to time and see if there's any big changes, kind of see what notes you're picking up, that kind of thing. Since A, you're not sick. B, I kind of somewhat trust your palate. I mean, there are days where I don't, trust me, but for the most part, I think you and I kind of align on things. I just want to see if you kind of caught what I caught. Tim, what are you smoking tonight, buddy?
I am not smoking Powstanie because somebody didn't bring me a War Bear when we met in good old Davenport, Iowa, the home of the drawing room. And this is my first cigar in like 3 weeks. So
Tim, thank you.
I just picked up something random out of my humidor.
I love you because you just reminded me once again that the drawing room is a sponsor of Simply Stogies Podcast. When you're in Davenport, Iowa, there's not a better lounge to go to within the entire state, other than the drawing room. If you're anywhere in Iowa, make the drive to Davenport, Eastern Iowa, Quad City area, right there on the banks of the Mississippi River, and go to the drawing room. If you want a laid-back, upscale feel that has somewhat of a dysfunctional family most days, this is it. Walk in to a beautiful lounge, beautiful leather furniture, speak-easy type vibe, members only area, and a large walk-in humidor filled with not just the ones you think are going to be in there, but there's going to be a few surprises as well. The drawing room, open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Tell Jimmy that James sent you. The drawing room, Davenport, Iowa, down there on East 3rd Street. It's good stuff.
Second Street, but
whatever. 3rd Street,
East Second Street. You're close. You'll figure it out. Just go to the Mississippi River and then come up one block. You could
literally step outside the drawing room.
You can see the Mississippi from the drawing room.
You can see the Mississippi. You could hit it with a rock. I wouldn't recommend it because if you miss, there's some buildings, but yeah, you can hit the Mississippi, the mighty Mississippi, the muddy Mississippi, right there on the banks of the Mississippi. Great lounge. Love that lounge. And I'm very happy to have them as a sponsor. So yeah, check them out. The drawing room in Davenport, Iowa. They don't send you cigars, but you go to them and you won't be disappointed.
Hey, maybe some point, maybe we'll get Iowa to change these laws about online cigars and we can start at least taking care of people, even within our own state, that love our lounge, but maybe live an hour or two away, since there are a lot of people that have to drive to go to a cigar lounge in Iowa.
Yeah. I mean, there really are.
Driving.
Yeah, it really is. And it's funny because, they have a lounge, Cigar Hustler Lounge in Denton, Florida. It's around.
It's an Orlando suburb, right?
Yeah, I think so. But it's like north of Orlando, which, I mean, if you've ever been to Orlando because you're going to Disney World, which is literally the only reason I've ever been to Orlando, or you're going to Universal, I guess, but my kid's not a Universal kid yet. There's not, I mean, you can go to other places there, but they're not like, and I told Mike, I go, no, the next time we're in Florida, I guess I'm just going to your lounge when we're there and he's like, yeah, man, come on down. He's like, we'll have you on the podcast. I'm like, nobody wants to see that. I'll watch you guys do the podcast. Like, I kind of want to see how that sausage is made, and I want to see if
why wouldn't they want to have you come on the podcast though?
No, he asked. He told me
being a bitch and go on the podcast.
Who wants to see me? Nobody watches.
I don't want to see you, but who cares? You think people want to see my ugly face when I'm making videos for the drawing room? No, Be a man, suck it up, and just do it.
Be a man. Wow. All right.
What do you think? Someone's going to be like, "Hey, I saw your ugly face on the internet." Well, guess what? At least I don't have an OnlyFans.
Well, I mean, look, we might have to have an OnlyFans. I might be selling feet pics here pretty soon. I think Tim just threw up in his mouth a little bit.
I think we should make Tim do it first, because there's probably a decent market out there for like.
You don't want to see these war-torn feet
pics, you know?
You don't want to see that.
Well, I mean, let me ask you a question. If you knew there was a service member who was selling feet pics, like while they were buried in Iranian sand, would you buy those? I think I might.
No, because I've been around long enough. I know that if by accident that camera pans up, you're not going to like what you see.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
It's never going to be good.
Yeah, you're not
Moving
on.
So do they have their, because you've been to their lounge, haven't you, James?
No,
I haven't.
So here's, Powstanie has been on my radar for a while.
Yeah.
Like for literally since I've been smoking cigars, like people were telling me you need to try Powstanie, and I kept going, Roma Craft's too strong for me. I just started my cigar journey and you guys want me to try something that's made at Nico Sueña. No thanks. And I wasn't in a position to really appreciate it. Now I am. 8 years into my journey, I'm smoking everything and loving it. And so I tried Powstanie a few years ago and I really enjoyed it. And then I really started digging into it, but like they really got on my radar a little more than a year ago with their podcast, Cigar Hustler podcast. And then, that's when I found out, they have a lounge. Like I started doing research into them. I'm like, oh, okay. Like they know what they're doing, and their podcast is hilarious. And now they're doing a daily podcast, which I
couldn't even imagine going to like daily.
No,
there's
thanks.
No way.
No, not in a million years. You couldn't pay me. You might be able to pay me, but it would take a lot of money.
Yeah,
and they're doing it, and they're doing a great job at it. And they're obviously talking about things other than cigars. And we do too here a little bit, but only on Clear the Air. The show it's really just Simply Stogies, and we kind of want to stick to that, which is why I tell people to ask about our food reviews. And when we do, unboxings and things like that, there's 1,000% fewer crotch shots than there are in other people's. So look forward to that.
There's a market for it.
There is a market for crotch shots, just not the person doing them.
Put it behind the paywall.
Yeah.
Only cigars.
So there'll be an unboxing coming soon of this ST DuPont and Fender collab. You can stay tuned for that. But I really love what they're doing, and I don't think it's that they're irreverent. I just think that they're funny, and sometimes like yourself, Tim, it's unintentionally funny with Phil, and then other times like I think Palmer is just freaking hilarious, and Szczepankiewicz is the perfect straight man to Palmer, but then at the trade show, you've got Szczepankiewicz running around stealing the Moon Man from room 101 and walking all around the trade show with it and just doing funny stuff. And so he's funny as well. And I just think these guys are doing it right. And they're talking about cigars, and they're talking about news, and they're talking about other things, but they're really keeping people engaged. And that's what you want. You just want to keep your audience engaged, because you don't want them listening for 5 minutes and then tuning out. And, Garofalo talked about that the week before, where you listen to a podcast, and what happens is they're talking about God knows what and God knows who, and talking about football, and talking about music, and talking about sports ball, and they're talking about this, and they're talking about that, and they're talking about everything but cigars. And you've got to fast forward 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes just to get them to talk about something cigar related. And at that point, you've lost your audience. The audience is tuned out. So they don't do that. They're really good. I invite you. I don't ever tell anybody to go listen to anybody else's podcast. Go listen to a Cigar Hustlers podcast. It's really funny stuff. They do it daily. You probably don't have to listen to everyone, but you should check them out. They've got their pulse on the industry.
Didn't you say that when Dave was on?
Yeah.
I don't tell you to go listen to people's stuff, but go listen to Cigar.
Look,
two times in a row.
Dave's stuff is really good too. The Cigar Authority is doing it the right way, and it's a different format than what we do, right? Like,
yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think Dojo's great, but it's a different form. And Dojo is like, I don't know. It's like that morning drive to work with the guy who hits the, they got all the sound effects and doing funny, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Not my format, not my thing. But they still talk cigars. So go listen to them. I think Dojo's doing it the right way. I think Cigar Authority's doing it the right way. I think Cigars Unbanded are doing it the right way. Go listen to their podcast. So there are a lot of people out there doing it the right way and not doing food reviews and not doing some of these other stupid things. Crotch shots on unboxings and just at a high level. And really, that's all I want is for cigar media to get better. That's all I want is for cigar media to get better. And so when I start pointing at guys like Szczepankiewicz and Palmer and Phil who are doing it the right way, and Cigars Unbanded and the Cigar Authority, it's like, you guys should go check them out. Production quality super high. It's not this casual thing. You're not going to find anybody looking at their phone for 45 minutes during the thing. It's just highly engaging and highly entertaining stuff. Go check it out.
Well, all the people you mentioned they are really good at certain things, and they're putting effort into those things that they're good at, right? Like, to me, Dave with a Cigar Authority is a must listen if you're a retailer. I mean, the knowledge that drips off of him when he's talking, you'd be stupid not to listen to that. But even the knowledge that he brings, not just from the retail side, but as a manufacturer, he really has his pulse on kind of like the business of cigars. And the banter is great. Like when they're talking, I mean, I never get tired of listening to them talk about the strength-o-meter. And even when Amanda was on Saturday, Amanda McAuliffe, and she's like, I really think there should be like a 0.5 in here somewhere, which is a thing they always, like Jonathan's always on him about there needs to be more variety. And so then she just ignites this running thread of exactly, and then like, yeah, Cigar Hustler, what I appreciate about them is, again, you can see that they're evolving. They're putting money into the production of what they do. They're amping it up to like daily, like you were talking about. But also, it's not the same. It's not like anything else, right? And so maybe you don't like the banter and the news stories that are mixed in with whatever the news is. It could be cigar related. It could be world events, whatever. Then, all of them do something their own way. But they do it at a high level, and they continue to try and do it better and better. And I think that's why, like you've called those ones out, because they have their thing. They're not copying anybody. They're not trying to, just do the same old thing, but they're also investing in their skill set, investing in the equipment and the way they produce things and their graphics and, all this stuff.
Yeah. And I really like his whole kind of outlook on cigar media and how everyone really should give Half Wheel their flowers, because Half Wheel is truly the only journalist that we have right now. And I wouldn't even they're more documentarians, I think, than anything else. They're documenting the cigar industry. They're taking a snapshot of it daily. And, but when it comes to like the legislative side of it, nobody does it as well as Half Wheel does. Charlie's got his finger on the pulse of that. They do a little bit of investigative journalism, especially when it came to this thing with the guy getting arrested in Thailand and Cambodia or wherever the hell it was, and kind of how that's going to affect Altadas and some of their factories. So Brooks, Charlie, and Patrick do a great job. I really do. I think that Szczepankiewicz and Palmer have got a great handle on cigar media and where they fit into cigar media. He gave Bear from El Oso Fumar some flowers. Like, hey, you like Bear? Go listen to Bear. A little too dry for my taste, but he said he thought he was the best interviewer in the biz, and that's some hefty praise. Like, Szczepankiewicz knows his stuff. So if he thinks that Bear's the best interview in the biz, there might be something to that. So I really like his, and he's just one of the most positive guys out there. I mean, I was kind of surprised at that, Tim, at how positive he was. It was almost Dave West level positivity.
I don't know if it was quite that high, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like that positivity level, you can definitely compare the two. Mm-hmm. And I was going to ask you too, because, and I don't know if this made it on the published or not, but he did say that, sometimes to, to make other or to help the cigar media or others in cigar media get better is just to focus on what you do and not like poke at other people. And I'm kind of conflicted with that personally.
Let me say this about that. And with all due respect to Mike and Mike, I whenever I do an interview, I never want there to be a confrontation. I never want to have like some kind of counterpoint because it's your interview and it's your platform. I'm giving you the platform. I want people to understand your point of view. They've poked fun at a lot of people in the industry. Sure. They have done that in the past. And they still do it. Right. And they still do it today. Yeah. And so, I mean, I appreciate you saying that, buddy. I really do. It's not the reality of the situation. And I think that it's okay to point out what you think is lacking, what you think is wrong, what you think could be better, because that's how we get better. And moving that ball forward and bringing people into this hobby that we all have a passion for. You should have a passion for it, especially if you're covering it. I think if you're covering it and you don't have a passion for it, unless you're doing it at a very high level, like the boys over at Half Wheel, maybe think about doing something else. Food reviews, perhaps. Crotch shots during unboxing videos. Something other than
miming.
Miming. Whatever it might be. Something other than.
Some people have said on podcasts that they're not passionate anymore about, the industry. So I do think that's a good point to bring up.
Let me be fair. Brooks, I think both Brooks and Charlie have said that on this podcast that, the best way to kill a passion for something is to turn it into a job. And they have turned this into a job.
Yeah. Full-time business. Yeah.
But they do their job at a high level.
Yes.
Okay. And it's actually kind of surprising that there's still only 3-4 of them there at Half Wheel, and they're producing at the level that they're producing.
Well, and that's the thing. Like they're pumping out reviews, and review after review after review after review, several a week, and it's fantastic. And they're not reviewing cigars that they get for free.
I think it was a good point. That was one of my biggest takeaways. Is when I first found out Szczepankiewicz was coming on the podcast, I was like, awesome, because I still remember James. I met Mike for the first time at the trade show last year, both Mikes. And so I'm just kind of in the background because, that's what I do. I'm a good wallflower. And
pretty one too.
Let's not get let's not get
And Mike has like an energy that like he brings conversations. It's a relaxed energy though. Like it's, what I mean? It's not like Tommy Boy energy. It's like, it's an intensity. I guess maybe like a confidence
intensity.
Intensity.
Intensity is
I got that.
Word. Yeah.
And I follow him when he's on other podcasts. I watch Cigar Hustlers, and I've even had conversations with you where I'm like, oh man, like I can't believe he said this. I can't believe and that was the biggest surprise to me was on the podcast. I was expecting a more volley when you brought up certain subjects.
Yeah.
And I took it a different way. I always take it a different way than you do, James. I took it as like, oh, maybe Mike is actually a good guy. It's the same thing that happened with Dave West. So in this way, maybe he is Dave Westish. I go, maybe Mike is a good guy and I'm the asshole. Because
you had the same thought I did.
At somebody and it's like, you suck at whatever I just poked you at. And he said it multiple times on multiple podcasts where he's like, dude, it's busting balls. Like I'm just joking. We're still like friends. Like I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm
look,
like,
but,
so
but
when you
there's
gave
so
him the
many people in
opportunity,
the industry.
stepped back instead of stepping in. I was like, oh, I'm the asshole, and I'm fine with that.
I think I'm okay with it too. If I'm the asshole, and I had that same thought, I was like, man, maybe I'm the problem. And I very well could be.
There's
like,
a chance.
Yeah, there's definitely. It's like it's a pretty fucking high chance that I'm the problem. I'm kind of okay with that. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, all of that. Storm's coming. I'm a dirtbag. I'm a coward. I'm all kinds of different things. But here's the thing. When I have called people out in the past on this show by name, I've always said, hey, I love you. I love what you do. Keep doing what you're doing, but come on the show and let's have a conversation about it. And none of them have decided to come on the show. None have reached out. They obviously listen because I get called every name in the book and I get told I'm all these things and bad for the industry. And I don't think that I'm bad for the industry. And if you guys think I'm bad for the industry, email me at info@simplystogies.com and let me know you think I'm bad for the industry. But I think what I'm trying to do is highlight some shortcomings that we have because the manufacturers do not have the bandwidth to parse these things. And what happens is my big gripe is we get kind of caught up. And I know this is kind of media heavy and I know people are going to be media heavy.
Well, in
but
fairness.
in fairness,
Yeah,
but
Mike is media, so
Mike is media. we get lumped in with some of these podcasts that honestly shouldn't probably be podcasting. Like, I'm just being honest. In today's look, I started podcasting in the wild west of podcasting 20 years ago, where we were literal streaming on the internet. You got to go to a website and you could listen to us.
Yeah, that was back when only the super geeks knew how to find it.
Exactly. And so I've been doing this a very long time before it was called podcasting. And I was there when Joe Rogan got big, and I'll be here when Joe Rogan retires. Because I'll never be as big as Joe Rogan, and I understand that. So I know what it's like to start with like less than $100 worth of equipment and podcast and get your point of view out there. But after 20 years of podcasting, if you're not evolving, you're dying. And I've learned to up our production value on a budget. And Tim has helped me out immensely with that.
What, spending?
Yes. And getting better and getting the equipment and making sure we look great, as good as we can look. And sound great, which is, I've always been an audiophile. And you can do that now on a budget. But there are people out there that are literally using a cell phone and a shitty lavalier mic still. And this isn't 2013. It's 2026. So get better. Get good, scrub, as I used to say on a gaming podcast that I used to do. Get good, scrub. It's not hard.
Let me expand on that real quick, because you said yourself, you're an audiophile, and I'm not. As far as I care, every single microphone out on the market is the exact same thing. And it wasn't until, getting into podcasting and listening to you, even though for the most part, I'm just rolling my eyes and I'm like, here goes Mr. Know-It-All. The reality is different voices are going to sound different based on the microphone. If you have is it sibilance?
Sibilance? Yeah.
Sibilance, thank you. You might need an extra piece of equipment to help cut that down to make everything sound brighter or warmer or so there are things that you can do to just help improve the overall sound quality. I mean,
oh yeah, 100%.
I get it. You see online on social media people walking around with the DJI wireless mics, and I'll even agree that they're great mics, but they don't make everybody sound great. No, but they're great in pinch, and they're great when you're out and about. Yeah.
The thing that frustrates me is obviously, equipment and the product you're producing is part of the equation. The other equation that for whatever reason in the cigar industry drives me nuts because it doesn't work anywhere else is there are certain things people are good at. There's skill sets, and it's like we have to act like everyone has an equal ability and skill set within the I make video and audio content space, and it's not the case. Like, some people puddle around and mess their words up and stare down, at notes because they don't have either the equipment like a teleprompter, or they can't remember anything. They have weird voices. They do things like I got yelled at for touching my microphone earlier, right?
You get yelled at.
It was
Rightfully
a scold,
so.
not a
I
yelling.
shouldn't have touched my microphone. Guess what? Won't happen again. My point being is, like,
It will.
there is a skill set to this that for whatever reason people ignore, because it's like, if you show up and you hit the record button, you're equal to everyone else that does that same thing. And I'm like, that's just not the case. It's just like basketball. Like, we're all going to step onto the court, and some of us are going to be really good and some of us are going to be horrible. And it's okay to tell someone they're not good at something.
Yeah.
Now, if you're doing it purely maliciously to just be a dick, that's a different thing.
Well, and that's all I want the industry to acknowledge.
Yeah.
That's all I want, is for the industry to acknowledge that we are not all the same. The problem is this, right? And look, I can touch my mic and it doesn't make that noise.
Oh, well, yeah. To your point, I have a $20 microphone holder thing. I don't even know what you call it.
Right. Mine is not $20.
With a mic I got for free.
Yeah. This is
when I bought my camera.
This is a $500 microphone, and
don't touch it like that in front of me.
Very, very expensive.
It just got weird.
It did. Look, and that's all I want, is a little bit of acknowledgement from the industry, is that we're not all equal. And look, if they don't like the way that my interview style, they don't like the questions I ask, they don't like any, that I can understand. That I'd be like, all right, cool. But the problem is this: when you're trying to do things the right way, and I think Half Wheel lays out how you do things the right way with a little bit of journalistic integrity, and you don't review cigars you're given. You just don't. And you try to do things, you kind of fake it till you make it. You try to do things at a high production level, right? But if they don't like the content, that's one thing. But they don't have the time to watch everybody and listen to everybody. And so they just hear snippets. They'll hear, oh, well, Palmer and Szczepankiewicz said this about so-and-so. Oh, James and Simply Stogies said this about so-and-so. And they're not listening to the content. And then it becomes, oh, you're one of those reviewers. You're one of those damn bloggers, what they used to call us, right? And it's, oh, well, you just review cigars and you just get clicks because you give low scores. We've given 2 low scores in 7 years. 2. And I can name the 2 cigars. I won't, but I could. And instead it's we get from Pete Johnson, oh, you should just say that the scores are too low to publish. And it's like, no, absolutely not. We're not out here just trying to get clicks. We're giving people exactly what we got. Exactly what we got, which is why I really enjoy, to bring it back to Szczepankiewicz, what him and Mike and Phil do when Palmer will read a review from Half Wheel, tell them who reviewed, like it's either Patrick or Brooks or Charlie, and they'll read the review and they'll be like, as they're reading it, they're changing the score. They know what the cigar is, they know who reviewed it, and they're like, they're guessing the score as they go along. It's one of my favorite bits out there in cigar media. I absolutely love that.
It took me a minute to figure out what was going on, because I listened to their last episode today. I'm like, I should listen to an episode. It's been a long time since I've listened to them. What's going on? And that's what they did that on the latest episode. And I was like, it's kind of a cool idea to take somebody else's review, and as you're going through it, like recreate the score.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty clever.
And here's the thing. When you put something out, when you have a cigar media outlet, when you have a media outlet, when you have a platform and you put yourself out there, no matter what it is, you're doing cigars, you're doing pop culture, you're doing whatever, doesn't matter. When you put yourself out there, you put yourself in the line of fire. you're
True.
going to get criticized. And it doesn't matter if it's internal from the industry that you're covering, or it's external from outside the industry you're covering. You're going to get criticized. You're going to have people call you names. You're going to have people criticize how you look. You're going to have people criticize how you sound. And you got to have a thick skin to do this. You just have to.
Well, I mean, when we go to like the PCA trade show, especially when we go to the PCA trade show, we're talking to people and so forth. I've walked up to you, James, and you're talking to whoever, Greg or whoever. And there's been times where you guys will just instantly see me come up and just start just harassing the crap out of me. And I've had it like off the street once or twice. I'm like, cool. I'm glad you listened. I don't know if you're still listening, but at least you listened once. Like, I'm not perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like just what you said, Tim. If Cigar Hustler made fun of us on their podcast, it would almost be like a badge of honor.
I was kind of hoping they would.
Like it'd be like, oh man, Cigar Hustler's talking about us. And this is not meant to be political, but I think it makes a point that we're trying to touch on. South Park did an entire episode on Charlie Kirk. Mm-hmm. And Charlie Kirk's response to it was funny.
Yeah.
Like most people were expecting him to be like, I can't believe they would, and he was like, I thought it was hilarious. Like that should be the response. Like, don't stop taking yourself so seriously. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I get very upset at Trump when he calls out people who criticized him and then he makes fun of them. And it's like, man, just take your lumps. Like, what? Shut up and just take your lumps. Like, it is what it is. You do anything in this world and you put yourself out there. You open yourself up to criticism, and you open yourself up to parody, and you open yourself up to a whole litany of different things. Just take your lumps, have some thick skin, shut the fuck up. And if you believe in what you're doing, keep doing those food reviews. If you believe in what you're doing, keep doing those crotch shots when you're doing unboxings. You believe in what you're doing, keep looking at your phone instead of, doing an interview. Whatever it is you're doing, you believe in it, you keep doing it. Like, what does it matter? I can't tell you how many times I've been criticized, and there has been only once that I have taken the time to address that criticism on the air. And that was when I was called a racist. And
right at pretty close to the beginning.
Pretty close to the beginning. And I'm like, my daughter's black. Like, not racist. Like, I don't know. Right. It's not a thing.
But that was just pure trolling, though, right?
That was just trolling. I was getting phone calls at 3:00 in the morning, prank phone calls and stuff. Back when I had a number that people could call in and leave a message for Simply Stogies. It is what it is. Like, what are we doing? Like, what do you get so upset for? Good Lord, it's ball busting. It's just trying to make the industry a little bit better. And you don't like it, great. Don't acknowledge it. Move on. I don't care. At some point, man, again, what are we doing? I'm trying to make the industry better. I'm trying to get more people to come into this hobby and move the ball forward. And this kind of goes to what I talked about with Mike, and I disagree with Mike on this point as well. I do think that the market is shrinking. I think that most manufacturers are pretty honest and open about this, that they know the market is shrinking. Whether it's due to economic factors, whether it's due to the baby boomers kind of shuffling off the mortal coil, so to speak.
Post-COVID, people don't have the free time that they once had.
Right, exactly. So there's a whole litany of factors that go into the market shrinking. And, he was pretty much, well, the market's not really shrinking, but we do need to bring more people in. And it's like, the market's shrinking, man. Like, all the metrics point to it. Retailers are having a hard time unless they're in an emerging market like the drawing room there in Davenport. I know you're kind of the exception to the rule. We talked about it with Garofalo. It's a problem. It's a problem, and go ahead.
It's also, I think, a nuanced conversation. So I think online is retracting, and I think probably crappy brick and mortars are retracting. And I think brick and mortars that build a community and provide an experience and a service. It might have been a Cigar Authority I was listening to where they said Dave was quoting some study where he said, still to this day, and it's been this way for, it sounds like a while, the number one recommendation that people will buy a cigar for and follow up with is their tobacconist, their local tobacconist. Close second was a friend they like trust that smokes cigars. So the number one most influential person is a tobacconist at the brick and mortar store that people patron, right? And so like, to me, I think there's that nuance in the conversation. Sure, it's anecdotal for me. Like you're saying, I'm in a, whatever you call me, an emerging market.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But like, I have today, he's been coming in. His name is Mason. He's 23 years old. He's been coming in once a week. And when he comes in, he comes up to me, asks me if there's anything new or anything he needs to try. He's got a book and a notebook, and he goes into the corner. He enjoys his cigar. And so like, we have a young demographic too, that is growing. And I'm not stealing those people from other lounges. Like, that's a cultivated community that he knows this guy and this guy that are members at the lounge, and they invited him down one time, and he connected with not just the cigars, but he connected with me as his tobacconist, with other members, you know, at the drawing room that were smoking cigars. And so that's one of the things I appreciate about it, Mike. He talked about it on the podcast. He's talked about it multiple other times on other podcasts. And that is, stop focusing on other people's slice of the pie and fighting over what we think is, you know, the pie, and go get a bigger piece of pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Add more ingredients to your own slice to make it bigger type thing.
Well, I mean, you grow the pie, by bringing in more people. Look, and I wanted to get into that with him, like the culture of his lounge. And when we started to talk kind of around that and dance around that with him, he really focused on, I mean, he's doing things the way kind of Avowed does them. You know, where if he's got a new release, he doesn't release it on his online shop first. He lets everybody else put it out there first. And if it sells out, great. He doesn't have to put it on his. If it doesn't sell out for whatever reason, he'll put it up on his website. You know, I like that. And that's what Avowed does. Avowed's like, you guys go have this first, right? All of their retailers, all of their brick and mortars, all of their online sales, like, you guys put it up first. We're going to sell what we can sell. And then we'll put it up on small batch, because it's not a small batch cigar. He does it the same way, but we didn't really get into like that culture of the lounge. And I know, Jimmy, this is something that you and I have talked about ad nauseum now, just the culture of the drawing room. And I can't wait for next week when we have Dwight and Paul from Fat Ash to talk about their culture and building the culture that they have. Because I think that's the secret ingredient that a lot of lounges miss, is building a culture. And I don't think lounges really know what they want for their culture. I think a lot of these lounges, and I'm not pointing fingers, and I'm not trying to be shock jock for the sake of being a shock jock. But I think a lot of these lounges are run by folks who are retirees, and this is what they want to do, and this is how they want to spend their time, and good on them. They got a passion for it, but they don't go in going, this is like, I want to build this culture, like whatever that culture looks like, whether it's, you know, new releases, whether it's the mainstream cigars, whether it's boutique, and then what kind of clientele do I want, right? How do I attract who I want to spend money here, right? And instead, it's just kind of, if I build it, they will come kind of mentality. And that doesn't work. And that doesn't build repeat customers. That does not build a client base. That does not bring in new smokers. You know, to your point, Jimmy, when I was up in little old Livermore, Iowa, at Smoldering Cigar, running their shop this summer, I can't tell you how many times somebody would come in that was young. And it was like, I had a guy come in. He's like, I want to get cigars for a wedding. And he's like, I've never smoked cigars. I'm like, all right. I got him into cigars. He bought a bunch of Padrones, and He came back like 3 times while I was there. I had another guy come in and he was like, you normally just smoke, Cuba. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, let's get you into something else. Like, let me show you what else Drew Estate has to offer. Right. Let's show you this. And the guy bought a humidor and all kinds of stuff. And so there are people who are curious about this. There are people that want to be part of this lifestyle, part of this culture, because there is a culture around cigars, and they want to be part of that culture. And I just think for the most part, B&Ms do a poor job, for the most part, of cultivating that culture and making the culture and building the culture that they want. There are some that are great at it. The Drawing Room, Fat Ash Cigars, Capital Cigars in Lincoln, Nebraska. I know I'm going to leave some out, and I apologize, but
there's
Cedar Room.
There's another aspect to this too,
right,
which I've never been to Fat Ash, but I can guarantee you, I pretty much know how Fat Ash operates, because there are certain things that a good lounge just does, and one of them that I think is good to call out as we're talking about my Old Kentucky Herf coming up is people don't focus enough on their relationship with their vendors as a brick and mortar. And your reps will pour resources into your lounge if you are a good lounge. And so the fact that, like, when you start reading this list off of all the principles that are going to be at my Old Kentucky Herf, I know that is a byproduct of how they run their lounge. Because at the end of the day, I have plenty of reps that come in, and when I take them into the back room and it's just us and we're talking, there's a lot of horrible lounges out there and cigar shops. And if I'm being completely honest, I think I'm at 60% of where I want to be at the Drawing Room. And the way reps talk to me about our lounge, we're killing it. And I'm like, well, that's nuts, because I'm not even halfway where I feel like we can be.
Yeah. Something, James, as you were kind of talking through and naming lounges that you would consider good lounges, I would also consider good lounges. And I was kind of just sitting there thinking to myself, like, where can I draw a dot? What connects it? What do these lounges have in my eyes that's very similar? And I think it's that the people who own and operate these lounges are family-oriented people. And they have the ability, because a family is very close, and you have the ability to work nicely with everybody from a 2-year-old all the way up to a 100-year-old.
Well, I think you're right.
Some lounges, it's just like, as my battery's about, some lounges are just like, I don't know how to talk to a 32-year-old. I'm just here for the dollar or whatever.
You're right on. You're spot on. And I'm reminded of Up Down in Chicago, and Phil Ledbetter runs that, him and his business partner. And they didn't build the culture that was there. They were part of the culture that was there. And then the owner, and I forget her name, a very lovely lady, she had ran that for many years, and then she passed, and they bought it, or maybe they bought it right before she passed. And they took it over, and they continued that culture. And it really is a family there. When you walk in to Up Down, it's a lot like walking in. I mean, and this is freaking downtown Chicago, man. This is like Old Town Chicago. And it's this smaller type of lounge, but you walk in and you're just family, right? And it's a different feel, because it's a Chicago type family versus like if I was gonna compare it to Fat Ash. Fat Ash it's like you walked into your mom's house, right? And you walk into her kitchen, and like all your family's there. Oh, man, I'm gonna die. And when you walk into Chicago, it is Up Down. It is a typical Chicago style, like, you're gonna bust your balls, but like it's you're still family, right? And so it's all about that. It's all about that culture and cultivating it and making everybody feel like they're part of it. So whether it's a ball busting Chicago hard style kind of Midwest harsh winters, like, fuck the Packers kind of a mentality, or it's a down home, like everything. I'm going to do my best Dwight while I'm sick. Like, y'all just come in, y'all just sit down, take a load off, smoke a great cigar. Like, we're going to talk. We're going to have a good time. We're going to fellowship together. It's going to be a great time. And I'm sorry, Dwight. I know that's terrible, Dwight. But that's what it is. And they get to know you on a one-on-one basis, and they sit down and they talk with you, and they have a vested interest in you as a person. Right. And that's what a great tobacconist is. It's somebody who has a vested interest in you as a person, in you as a cigar smoker, and they're going to make sure that you have a great experience. If you'd like, they want to make sure that you love that cigar that you grabbed out of the humidor. They want to make sure that you enjoy yourself while you're in their home. And to me, that's what all of these great lounges have in common, from little old Livermore, Iowa, Smoldering Cigar, all the way to, the Cedar Room in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is it's huge and beautiful, and they have everything in a massive, gorgeous walk-in humidor, like all the bells and whistles, but they do it right. And it's not just the bells and whistles, and it's not, it's all the intangibles that go along with being a great tobacconist.
Yeah, and I think we talked about earlier in the podcast having passion.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of it is also loving cigars. I mean, it's people joke because they know when they walk into the humidor with me, especially my regulars and my members, they'll joke about, oh man, Jim's got me in the tractor beam. But it's not like an upsell, right? I'm not trying to upsell people. I just love freaking cigars. And so if you walk in and I know you haven't had this and I know it's going to fit your profile and I know you're going to enjoy it, I'll be like, Dan, come in here real quick. And I'm like, hey, next time, because our members they have lockers, they can bring in outside cigars. I'll be like, dude, next time you're buying a cigar, you need to get that, right? Hey, you need to pick that up. You're going to love that one. And then inevitably they buy those cigars most of the time when I'm telling them about them. But there's two things that are happening there. One, my love and passion for the cigars, and I'm also communicating a love and affection for them in a certain extent because I remember what they smoke. I remember what they like. I know their family. Like, hey, how's it going with the job hunt? Hey, what's going on? And so to me, when you put those two things together, that's where you have it almost sounds dirty being like business related, because it's not like I'm in business to make money selling cigars, but that's not the point. The point is, like, you sit down with people who have like passions and you just can have good conversations. And along the way, you learn about each other, and then you build relationships, and it extends outside of the lounge, right? Like I've said before on other podcasts, it's also the people that come into the lounge. Like my reps, when my reps walk in, it's like my members are yelling their name and they're, hey, John, how's it going? And so it's not just, oh, John's coming here to do an event and sell cigars. They have a relationship with John now. Like, hey man, how did, I know that thing with your granddaughter happened, how's everything going? And so there are tons of intangibles, but I think the two main beams that the business has to run off to be successful is you have to love cigars, and you have to love people in a sense that you build relationships with them and they feel like you care about them on a certain level.
Well, and I think I think it's also, like you said, those relationships extend outside of the lounge. And it's funny to me because inevitably, no matter what type of culture you are trying to bring to your lounge, you're going to have a very diverse set of customers. You're going to have people on the left. You're going to have people on the right. You're going to have, gun owners. You're going to have people who hate guns. You're going to have people who watch CNN, and you're going to have people who watch MSNBC. You're going to have people that really love Rachel Maddow so much that they get glasses like Tim. That look exactly like Rachel
wow, that
Maddow.
laugh was that was cringy. I just found a new ick.
I was completely not expecting that. That came out of left field, and
But you're gonna just have different personalities is essentially what I'm saying, and you're gonna have people that find common ground outside of those things, and that common ground is this. It's this rolled up cylinder of dead leaves, as Matt Booth so eloquently puts it, and they're gonna find that common ground, and they're gonna be friends, and they're gonna be family, and if they can't be that, then those are the people that you want to kind of, hey, maybe you should smoke that cigar at home. Like we love you and we want you to come back if you can, not be a dick. But sometimes it just doesn't happen, and you gotta, trim that bush, trim the tree every now and again, and get people to, smoke it at home, to make that, to cultivate that culture, to get that culture going. I remind, like, you and I, Jimmy, can have conversations about philosophy and theology and politics, and we can speak at a high level. And when we do, this is what I find Tim doing.
Yeah, it's usually like that's exactly it. When you guys are sitting there, we're all at the lounge or whatever, and you guys start talking about philosophy or politics or digging deep into the weeds or whatever you guys are doing. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm sitting at the lounge with you, just on my cell phone. Like, what's not new in the world today? And then you guys will eventually interrupt me, and I'll be like, I wasn't paying attention. What'd you say?
But that's what I mean is, even though you're not able to speak to theology, philosophy, politics in the same ways that Jimmy and I can, you're still our friend. And I know it's weird because I'm just like double entendre guy, entendre. It's the Potomac, but we still want you to be part of that friends group because we have other common interests other than this. And I would have never met you, Tim, if it wasn't for this. And I'm very thankful for this. I'm not thankful for the website that gets over 1 million views.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I mean, look, just as you have sat there and said many times that out of all the podcasts that you've done, this is the biggest one. This is blown up. This is exploded. Even though you suck at it, it's great. But this is also the biggest website I've ever operated, and it's exciting to me to be able to manage that and try to fix problems. I'm a tech guy. I love that.
I feel
stuff.
left out, so I want to jump in here. Okay. I'm running the biggest lounge I've ever ran, and so I'm excited too.
Isn't this the only lounge you've ever run?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it still counts, though. I think it still counts.
Yeah, it still counts.
And I would have still been running it whether I met you guys or not, but
yeah, I
felt left out. I mean, there was a kumbaya moment.
The problem
I had no hands to hold, and I grasped.
Jimmy, the problem is that you put your foot in the door, and then your other foot followed. The door slammed. Now you're stuck. You're stuck.
You're stuck inside this web that we have spun. But I mean, look,
7 years.
Here's the thing, right? Jimmy and I weren't friends when Jimmy took over the drawing room. Like, I don't think I'd ever spoken to Jimmy, and it took a couple of months for Jimmy to warm up to me. It wasn't. I am not the easiest guy in the world to get along with. I understand that, and I'm always surprised. Like, Tim, I'll never forget in 2020 when we went to the Nebraska Cigar Fest when they used to have that way back.
Oh yeah.
You looked at me one day. While we were up there and we were sitting at the bar at Cigars Lounge in Lincoln, and you're like, I don't know how you do it. I'm like, don't know how I do what, buddy? And you're like, you talk to everybody. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, I can't do that. I'm like, you just do what you got to do, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, he's like, I can't do that. You just like turn it on. I'm like, yeah, well, when I turn it off, I just go to bed because I'm tired. Like, it's draining. But Jimmy, most people don't. It takes a minute to kind of warm up to me. It took Jimmy a little bit to warm up to me. And then I was sitting in the lounge one day, and he walked over and sat down, started having a little bit of a conversation, found out we had a lot in common, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah. And then he was like, well, I'm going to be friends with James. Oh, shit. Tim's part of the package.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, honestly, you know what a lot of it comes to. I'm not saying this to minimize what you said, but One thing that I feel like I'm uniquely gifted in, and it annoys people, is I can be extremely gracious to people that annoy me. Now that I said that out loud, I realize that sounds like I'm talking about you. But what I like, I just had a thing today where someone was bitching about somebody else, and I'm like, okay, like, were they disrespectful? Did they do X, Y, or Z? Well, no. It's just, this makes me mad when they do it. And it's like, listen, dude, I'm not, just because this guy pisses you off about something, dude, just chill, dude. Just enjoy a cigar. Stop focusing on that. New guys will walk into the lounge, and the regulars will kind of be like, nah, he talks too much, blah, blah, blah. And they'll talk to me about it, obviously, because I own the place. And I'll be like, man, give him some time, dude. Maybe this is the first time in 20 years he's got out of the house. And it's the first time he's around a lot of guys, and he just doesn't know how to talk to people. So he just keeps talking and won't stop.
Well, that's a real thing, though, too, right? When you go into a lounge, you're trying to figure out what the vibe is and trying to, maybe you can't read it right, but you're trying to adjust to what you think the vibe is to fit in, and it backfires.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I mean, I'll throw my own generation under the bus. We do not know how to talk to each other and just, I don't know, tell people what bugs you about them. And maybe they tell you to go pound sand, but I mean, I have to do that as the owner. I go, I've had conversations where it's like, hey, you can't watch these videos anymore, dude. Like on the TV, it's weird. People are complaining. It makes them feel weird. The volume's too high. And okay. And like, that's it. And it's like, man, that would have been really easy if somebody would have just said that, 4 months ago to this guy, instead of letting it boil up. And then I got to mediate the relationship. Like, people just don't know how to have conversations and say, hey man, when you do that, like when you set your cigar on the table instead of the ashtray, you leave ashes everywhere. Can you stop doing that? Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't know I was doing that. I must, I get busy and whatever it is. It's like, and I think that's part of the culture I try to like build into things, is like, talk to people. Like, if you got a problem with somebody, have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Like, when you don't, like Jordan Peterson always says, conflict delayed is conflict amplified.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely. It's like, dude, don't let it build up, man. Most people are not trying to be assholes to everybody else.
No. Anything I say, I'm not trying to be an asshole. It just comes naturally.
Yeah.
You know,
it helps when you're wearing your "I'm the asshole" T-shirt.
Yeah, right. I think Mike Szczepankiewicz is the same way. He's such a nice dude. I don't think he says things to be an asshole. I think he says things that are on his mind, that he points out, and you can either take it with a grain of salt, or you can call him and have a conversation. You can call me and have a conversation about it. Like,
yeah, I get the impression that if Mike crossed a line, that you felt he crossed a line, and you reached out to him and had a genuine, like, hey man, I thought when you did this, that was a cheap shot. I feel like Mike's the kind of guy that is self-reflective enough to look at what you say and go, yeah, I can see, yeah, maybe I was being a little uncharitable. Hey, I was having a bad day. But also Mike is the kind of guy, I assume, again, I'm not buddies with Mike, but just from watching him, he may go, that was not my intent, but I was just saying what I felt, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, after smoking that San Andreas Corona Gorda and the War Bear, I'm curious as to when the drawing rooms bring a Powstanie in, because that's really good stuff. I'm just saying, like, drawing rooms probably think, how's that War Bear treating you, by the way? Like, when you got to the middle,
what did you give the War Bear?
I think I gave it a 9.2. I think I gave it a 9.2.
Yeah, you should have let me review it.
Well, why? Because you give everything a 9.7.
I would have at least given it a 9.3. It's a 9.4 for me.
Yeah, it's a very good cigar for me.
Exactly
smoking
similar
my War
to
Bear
you
right now.
Exactly what you were saying. One of the reasons I have not gravitated to Powstanie, and this is why I asked the question during the podcast when I put in the chat, why does Powstanie get rated so high? But I feel like it's underrated. Like
it is.
It gets a lot of really high review points, but I don't think I've ever walked into a lounge and saw Powstanie. Now I'm in the Midwest, so maybe it's a Midwest thing, but yeah, I've enjoyed the hell out of both the San Andreas and the War Bear. And the thing to me is exactly what you said, James. I go, Roma Craft sometimes is a little too rustic for me. It's a little too full body. And I kind of stayed away from it because of that. And similarly to HDA, right? I'm not a big Blackworks guy. Blackworks uses a lot of Pennsylvania broadleaf. It's kind of got that same kind of rustic full body in a lot of the stuff they do. But Zach stopped in to the drawing room in Davenport, and when I smoked Descending Shadows with him, I was like, if you blindfolded me and gave me the cigar, I would have no idea that this was made yeah. And that's the same thing I'm experiencing right now with the War Bear. Is like I wouldn't be able to tell this was rolled at Nicasueña. This is great.
So for me, on all three samples that I smoke, I call them samples, but I bought the box with Simply Stogies money. It's over there.
You got that cool big metal.
We don't take free cigars. Thing. We don't review free cigars here. What I found was the halfway mark of that cigar, it really ramps up. Like it goes from this medium full kind of, and it doesn't meander. It's very focused in the flavor profile in that first third, which I enjoyed. But it is this sudden, like, hey, you've kind of had to pay attention here because there's some subtlety and there's some complexity and there's some nuance. And, so you're paying attention, and it hits that halfway mark and you're like, oh shit. Like it just starts like roundhouse after roundhouse after roundhouse. And you're like, I find myself paying attention to it and not just, like it's just kicking me in the teeth. And there's some great nuance even in when it becomes that full-bodied, kind of frenzied, Wojtek, which is the name.
Yeah, there's like the note that's been sticking out to me a lot while I've been smoking it, and I'm trying to pay attention to you guys talking while I'm doing it, but sure. I'll find myself wandering off when I hit this, like leathery butter graham cracker, the cereal, Golden Crunch or whatever it is.
Oh man, like, Golden Grams.
Yeah, there's this moment that's happened like 3 or 4 times in the cigar where all those flavors kind of like merge and then kind of explode, and I'm just like, oh man, oh wait, I'm on a podcast. I gotta pay attention.
Yeah, it's a really great
I would absolutely buy boxes. This is box worthy. It's a great cigar.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. If you haven't tried the 2025 Powstanie War Bear, the War Bear of Mass Destruction, the Wojtek 2025, whatever you want to call it, go try it before it's gone. Limited edition, absolutely fantastic cigar, and you can go read my review of it at simplystogies.com. Like I said, 9.2. May have gone a little low on that. Smoking 3 and like I want to smoke more now, and I just don't want to because I just want, like I said last week, I just kind of want to put them away and let them sit for a while. It's really good. Go give it a shot. If you haven't tried anything from Powstanie, great cigar. The number 2 cigar for Half Wheel last year was only 0.79 away from number 1. Was their San Andreas. And I smoked the San Andreas in the new size that they released in January, the Corona Gorda. I smoked that tonight. Man, was that good. There'll be a review of that coming up here in the next month or two. Again, bought a box of those, because, and he had reached out to me and he's like, hey, will you guys smoke this? I'm like, yeah, man, like I'll go buy a box. Like not a big deal. And if you're a manufacturer, you want us to review something, all you gotta do is ask. I'll go buy a box if I can, and I'll do my best to get to. I can't promise I'll get a review on it, but we do our best. So if you ask, info simplystogies.com. Reach out to us on Instagram, Simply Stogies Podcast. Reach out to us on Facebook, / Simply Stogies Podcast. All of that stuff, all that good stuff. We'll review it. We're do our best.
Nice. Last clear of the air for a couple weeks. This one right here, because we have a hell of a lineup. A lot of people looking to get on the show, talk to James and Nick between now and the PCA trade show. So like who do we have next? I think, you mentioned earlier, James.
Yeah. Coming up next week, we've got Dwight Atkins and Paul Wood from Fat Ash Cigar Lounge in Ashland, Kentucky, home of my Old Kentucky Herf. We're going to be talking about Herf season. And I was looking at my phone earlier because I wanted to bring this up. I mean, Paul earlier, he posted in their group that I'm a part of on Facebook that it's Herf season, and like he can understand why Stephen Ray left for the ease of ministry, because he's just so busy. And it's just kind of funny because being in the ministry, no matter the denomination, is not the easiest thing to do. So I know Paul and Dwight are working their tails off. And like almost every day, there's a new confirmation of who's going to be there and the vendors that are going to be there. 20 vendors, my Old Kentucky. If we're going to find out, we're going to talk about culture. We're going to talk about, their home work-life balance, which we didn't even talk about with we talked about that with Mike Szczepankiewicz from Powstanie and how he's got a great team behind him. And I know Dwight and Paul they've got a great team behind them. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the culture that they've got in their store. We're going to talk about the industry. We're going to talk about support from the manufacturers. We're going to talk about a whole litany of things that is going to be very retail centric. So join us next week. Dwight Atkins, Paul Wood, live from Ashland, Kentucky. They'll be in Ashland. We'll be here in Iowa.
Oh, I thought you were driving down there.
I thought about it. I actually thought about it. But probably not. Because if I'm still feel like this,
we'll probably do another interview there at my Old Kentucky Herf, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, there's going to be a lot of stuff in May. We'll be finishing up everything from the trade show, and so, but there'll be some my Old Kentucky Herf coverage as well. It's always a good time, and they've got a great lineup of principals and reps that are going to be there. Trey Mack, I was up till 4:00 in the morning and talked to Trey Mack the other day. Trey is just awesome. I love that dude. So big shout out to Trey Mack, Aladino, JRE. Can't wait to see Amanda McAuliffe and Jeremy Ellis from McAuliffe Cigars. Can't wait to see Greg Free. Can't wait to see Gabby Caffey. Can't wait to see Luciano. Like this, the list goes on. Ton of great. I can't wait to meet remarkable Liz, Elizabeth Santos from Noble Cigars. So it's going to be a great time. So we're going to find out all about that next week. Well, week after that, there won't be a clear of the air. We're not going to talk about Dwight and Paul behind their back because, like, we really love those guys, and I don't want to say anything bad about them. But we will later. I promise. We're gonna have Jonas and Thana from Blackbird Cigars on. We're going to talk about what Blackbird's got coming up this year. Before the trade show, he reached out. He wants to come on the show. So Tim was kind enough to say, yeah, no, it's cool. We don't have to have my show. You fuck off. We'll just do the Simply Stogies podcast. So we're going to have Jonas on from Blackbird. So you're going to not want to miss that. And then of course, the week after that, we've got Antonio Lamb, from Renato Cigars. And we're going to find out what's going on with him, what's going on with Renato Cigars. I know he's got a lot of good things. He's cooking up. We'll find out, about that. And then the week after that, we'll have a clear the air about all 3 episodes. Where we'll talk about, Paul and Dwight behind their back. We'll talk about Jonas behind his back, and then we'll talk about Antonio behind his back. And then we're getting into trade show season. We're gonna have Lou Lou Cross from Lure Cigars is going to be on. He's going to be talking about what Lure Cigars has to go going on. We're going to find out what it's like to be a boutique manufacturer and kind of how, like, what he's learned in the last couple of years in the industry. What he's got planned for the trade show, what Valakari's got planned for the trade show, all the good stuff that they're doing. And then it's trade show time, boys and girls. Like, it's game on, like, after that clear the air. So this is our busy season as well. It's just, I'm blown away by the amount of people who reach out and they want to be on the podcast. I'm trying to get to everybody. I promise I am. You guys are all awesome. I want to thank our patrons for all of their support. You guys are fantastic. Without you guys, we would not be able to do this. Guys like Brian Bradley, lifetime member, Randy Michael, lifetime member, Luke Cross, lifetime member, Fat Ash, executive producers, and the boutique is fuck level. Love you guys. You guys are fantastic. Chris Hansen, Gesticles. The list goes on. You guys are great. Thank you so much to our patrons for their support. And of course, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Join us next week because, guys, hashtag, this is just simply what we do. Stay smoky, friends.